breath with me if you feel comfortable doing so. So we can just take a deep breath in and hold for 1, 2, 3, and release. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm gonna do a little story time because, as you may have noticed, I did not post for a long time, and you might say, well, Meredith ASMR, why would that be? And the answer is because I got a concussion. And you may say, oh, a concussion, yes. I've had one of those. But the problem with my concussion was that I too have had those before, and this was my 5th concussion. 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My 5th concussion. And that's not good. You do not want to keep having concussions. They get worse the more you have. And you might also say, well, how on earth did you get 5 concussions? You must be an athlete. No, I do not play any sports. I do not play tackle football or anything of that kind. I am simply clumsy. So basically what had happened was I had called an Uber to get a ride to my apartment. So I called the Uber, and the Uber got there, and I go to get into the Uber, and I hit my head. Now, my doctor asked me, he was like, how hard did you hit your head? And I had to explain. And I said, well, me personally, I do not simply get into cars. I throw myself into cars, and I do. I kind of hurl myself in with reckless abandon. I use momentum, and I throw myself into the vehicle. So this particular time, the car in question was a Toyota Corolla, which those cars are kind of tiny. So I go to get into the car, and my body goes inside the car, but my head does not. My head stays on the outside of the car, which, as you can imagine, is not a good thing. So I lose consciousness for like a split second, and then all of a sudden I'm in the car, and the driver is like, ma'am, like, can you shut the door? And I'm like, yes, sorry. So the driver is driving me home, and I go, I feel weird, and I'm just looking at all the lights, and I'm like, so I get to my apartment, and I'm like, I think there may be a problem here, but I'm like, so I go, and I try to walk up to my apartment, and while I am in the hallway, I fall, and I catch myself on the wall. But I think, had I been able to see myself in that moment, I would have appeared intoxicated, because I was kind of stumbling all over the place. So I get into my apartment, and I go and I lie down, and I try to call my mom, and I'm having trouble putting together words. Like, I'm stuttering. I'm having a really hard time putting together words and expressing my thoughts. And my mom is like, well, maybe, like, try and get some sleep. I'm like, I'm out of it. So I'm like, okay. Looking back, if this this is not going to happen again. I'm willing that into existence. But, I probably should have gone to the ER then, but I did not. I'm like, I'll go to bed. It'll be fine. So I go to bed, and I was fine. I wake up in the morning, and I still am having a hard time talking, and I just feel really not good, really sick. So I go to my school's health clinic because it is free. It is free. It is free. It is free. And I don't have to wait. You don't have to wait like you would at an urgent care or at a hospital. So I go to my school health clinic and they say, yeah, it looks like you have a concussion. And I go, okay. And they go, you can't do much for concussions. Like, stay off your screens and try and rest and don't do things that make your headache worse. And I go, okay. And at this point, I had no idea everything that would follow. But I'm like, okay. So I go home. And for the next week, I rest. And when I say rest, I mean like laying in bed or like on the couch, listening to music. I could not read. I could not watch TV. I could not look at my phone. I could not watch a movie. I couldn't go on my computer. Anything like that. And my head would just hurt so badly I couldn't handle it. So after about a week, I go back to the health clinic and they go, yeah, this is not typically what would happen with a concussion. This is out of our expertise. This is out of our expertise. So they say, you're gonna need to see a specialist. You're gonna need to see a specialist. So they put a call into the specialist, and the specialist gets me in the next day, which I'm very grateful for, because the healthcare system is so backlogged. I was shocked, but they get me in, and he goes, how many concussions have you had previously? And I go, 4. He goes, okay. So basically, he tells me, you can't cure a concussion. There's no medicine. I can give you medicine for your headache, but the only way to cure a concussion is to rest. So you need to be resting, and gently pushing yourself as you are able, but you do not want to do anything that makes your headache noticeably worse. So the way they described it to me is it's like if your headache is at a 4 during the day, you do not want to do anything that would make it go above a 6. So you don't want it to go above 2 points higher. So if it's at a 6 when you start, it could go to an 8, but you wouldn't want it to go higher than an 8. Because when you tax your brain, you can make it take a lot longer to heal. So basically for a month after my concussion, I couldn't really do anything. I couldn't read, I couldn't go on screens, couldn't watch TV. And you would think, wow, that sounds crazy. How did you get through that? You must have been so bored. And I was very bored. And, I had some friends come and visit me. And I listened to music and my record player. And I listened to a lot of podcasts. But also at the same time, I don't even remember the first few weeks. So, yeah. So, I continue to rest and slowly work back up. And after a while, my specialist says, we're gonna have you do rehabilitative therapy because it's taking so long for you to get better. And I was like, what does that look like for a head injury? So basically what it's ended up being is a mix of neck strengthening exercises, because I also got some whiplash in my neck, and neck strength and problems really contribute to your headaches. So it's a lot of neck strengthening exercises. It's also a lot of eye tracking exercises. So like they might have me hold a post-it note with an X on it and say, keep your eyes focused on the X. And so I would move the post-it note up and down, but keep my eyes focused on the X. And that is really, really hard for me right now. So in talking with them, they said that usually when you have concussion symptoms that go on for so long, it's like you had a problem that you were kind of managing, and then you had the concussion, and it just exacerbated the problem you already had, and now you can't function with it. Which would make sense for me, because I have a lot of problems with motion sickness. And I get very, very, very motion sick very quickly. Like if I scroll too quickly on my phone, I will get motion sick. So they said that my concussion just exacerbated that issue of my eyes and my ears not working together to a place like where I am in space. It's called your vestibular system, your vestibular system. So I am currently about 2.5 months out from the date of my concussion, and I am still having symptoms, but they are nowhere near as bad as they were. So that is very good. I had no idea concussions could go on for this long, and it's because they usually don't. But I'm very grateful that it is not worse. And for right now, I can mainly do like most of the things that I would do. Because when it first happened, I had to stop going to classes. I did not go to my classes because I couldn't be in the fluorescent lights. And I just couldn't be like in a loud environment for that long. And I'm still more sensitive than normal, but I can actually like be in those environments, which I am very, very grateful for. When I did originally have my concussion, I got these glasses. They are concussion glasses. And basically they are very, very, very strong sunglasses. And my glasses have sunglasses built in, but these ones can go over your glasses. They have a little like lip right here. So I can just put them on and they sit right there over my sunglasses, and I'm looking stylish. But these have been a lifesaver. This specific model blocks like a ton of blue light, and that's what it's designed for. And now my biggest triggers are blue light, so like fluorescent lighting or screens. Those are kind of the two things that still really bother me. So if I am doing work on my computer, like editing or something like that, I will put on my glasses, and that helps a lot. If I do not have my glasses on, I cannot spend very long working on my computer, and I still have to be careful and take breaks, and I still have a headache a lot of the days. But compared to how it was, it is a lot better. There was a while where my life consisted mainly of laying in my room and listening to podcasts. So I'm very grateful that it is better than it was. They said it might take quite a while for all of my symptoms to go away. But with the way that my symptoms currently are, I'm not it's not life-altering. It's just inconvenient. And that's, I can handle inconvenient. So I'm still going to my rehabilitative therapy. And I'm really hopeful that maybe I will be better than I was when I started, when I get out of rehab therapy. Because they've said my neck is very, very weak. And it's what likely causes a lot of my constant neck pain and tightness. And I have a lot of problems with neck pain. So I am hopeful that, by addressing the issues, I'll be better off in the long run. So, but that is my little concussion story. And that is where I have been. So, that happened at the end of March. So, yeah. But I am very grateful that it is not worse, and that I am okay now, and that I was able to get into the healthcare specialists here, because that can so often be such a difficult thing with how overloaded the healthcare system is. So, I am very grateful. But please, be careful, even when getting into cars. Wear your helmets. I know, people will try and tell you wearing helmets isn't cool, but really, and I know that the activity I was doing is not really one where you could choose to wear a helmet, but still, protect your noggin, protect it. Don't hit it. It's not fun, and it's not a good time. So, the moral of this story, kids, is wear a helmet and be careful when you're getting into Toyota Corollas in general. But thank you all for listening to my silly little story time ramble. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe and drop me a little comment. Have you ever had a concussion? What was it like for you? Feel free to tell me below. And I will see you guys next time.